said, I'm married. My wife is great. My wife rules. She's patient with me. She's the weirdest person I've ever met. My wife is so bizarre. Like, my wife says things once a day that out loud I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I think my favorite example of this was about 5 years ago. My wife and I, we were in a rental car in Wyoming. Jealous? We were in a Buick Enclave in Wyoming, listening to satellite radio. We were listening to a station called Lithium. Okay, a couple nods. Lithium is a station that only plays 90s alt rock. Okay, yeah, so of course, at some point, a song by the band Bush came on the radio. This guy nods. Yeah. I like seeing Bush fans in crowds because they are kind of smug about it. Like, I can tell just from your demeanor that you're like, just to yourself, you're just thinking like, I bet it was Glycerine. The song he was listening to, I bet it was Glycerine. Yeah, so we're listening to Glycerine. Halfway through the song Glycerine, my wife turns to me and she's ecstatic. She's so excited. And I'm like, what's up? And she goes, Joe, did you know the day I went to my first Bush concert was also the day I tried mayonnaise for the first time? And I was driving, and obviously in my head, I was like, how could I possibly know that, you know? But out loud, I was like, that's incredible. Tell me everything. My wife proceeds to tell me truly the longest story I've ever heard in my life about when she was 12 years old. She and all her friends, they were huge fans of this band Bush, and they bought tickets to this big Bush concert, Big Bush, and when the day arrived, they were so excited, they all jumped into her friend's mom's minivan, and her friend's mom drove them to the arena for this concert, but they got there hours early. Like, the gates weren't even open yet. So her friend's mom parked the van outside the arena, and as they waited, her friend's mom opened up a Tupperware container on the passenger side seat and started handing all the girls in the van sandwiches, pre-made sandwiches, because the mom knew she needed fuel. They needed fuel for this big Bush concert. So my wife takes a sandwich, and we should be clear, at this point in time, she is not my wife, okay? She's just a 12-year-old Bush fanatic in Connecticut. She takes the sandwich, and she bites down on the sandwich, and immediately she realizes that this sandwich in particular is much more moist than any other sandwich she's ever eaten up until that point in her life. But she doesn't want to be rude, so she swallows this weird, wet sandwich. And as she swallows, she has to admit that whatever this wetness is has a sort of pleasant, unctuous taste. She recognizes that. She's finished swallowing. She kind of panics. She looks at her friend's mom and she screams, "What's the wetness? What's the wetness in the sandwich?" And her friend's mom obviously was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What's the wetness?" And the friend's mom was like, "That's mayonnaise. Have you never had mayonnaise?" And my wife was like, "No, what? That's mayonnaise? Oh no, am I someone who likes mayonnaise? I think I like mayonnaise." So yeah, that's the short version of her story. So her story ends, and I don't know how to respond, and that's a problem, right? I can tell she's waiting for me to say something in response, but I'm not doing it right. So there's just this tension building in the Buick Enclave we're in. And after like 20 seconds or so, she gets annoyed, and she snaps at me, and she goes, hello, Joe? What was the day you first tried mayonnaise?" Expecting me to have like an equally powerful story. You know that touchstone moment in all our lives where we vividly remember eating mayonnaise for the first time? I love her so much. I'm lucky to be with her. She is mean. She's mean to me. I'm a professional comedian. That's important to remember. My wife recently told me that the funniest thing I do is the way I throw up. She said that. And that's hurtful. What hurts most is like she might be right. It is objectively funny how I throw up. I am very bad at throwing up. Part of the problem is that I don't do it a lot. I throw up every 2.5 years. So I've thrown up fewer than 10 times in my adult life, okay? So I don't have a lot of experience. When it goes down, it's absolute bedlam. It's crazy. And also, what makes it worse for me personally is every time I throw up, I know hours ahead of time. You know what I mean? I'll burp. You know those weird burps? I'll be like, oh no, today's the day. And I just pace around my house waiting to the vomit to come up. I'm like, when's it coming? When's it coming? And then once it's clear I'm about to vomit, I know I have about 10 seconds to run to a toilet. So this is my process, okay? I run to the toilet, I kneel down in front of the toilet, and the first thing that I do is I scream. I just scream into the toilet, nothing else. Just a dry, horrified scream. Has anyone here screamed into a toilet? It's unpleasant. It just reverberates back, blows your hair. And then I just do that for a while, right? I just scream, and it's not a fun scream. It's animalistic. It's horrifying. I can't even replicate it. I'll try my best. This is what I do. I go, oh! Thank you. Oh, thank you. So I do that for a while. It's sort of tantric. I just breathe in and scream and scream and scream. And it's about 30 screams or so. Each scream, I feel the vomit kind of ratchet up a bit. So after about 30 screams, it hits the surface, and I always, every single time, I get the angle wrong. So I continue screaming. It's clear, let's be clear, I'm never not screaming. So I'm screaming and screaming as vomit starts to shoot out my nostrils. So I got 2 jets of vomit shooting out my nostrils. No, I'll keep going. And so vomit shooting out my nostrils, I'm screaming, 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 and the screaming's so intense that I start coughing up blood. Okay, so I'm coughing up blood, screaming, vomit out my nose, and at some point I start crying. I start crying. It's not because I'm a bitch. It's purely pressure related. There's just so much pressure rushing to my head that tears start rolling down my face. And actually the pressure's so crazy that all the blood vessels around my eyes explode. So I have 2 black eyes, non-contact black eyes. I have 2 black eyes, crying, bleeding out my mouth, vomiting out my nose, screaming, screaming, screaming. And I don't even think I'm doing a good job describing this because it's so violent. With each scream, I'm slamming up against the toilet, right? So by the end of it, I have a toilet bowl-shaped bruise on my chest. Vomit out my nose, screaming, blood, black eyes, and a little pee comes out. Okay, so a little pee comes out. Because I'm squeezing so hard. I'm nearly breaking ribs. And every time, almost a minute in, every time I throw up, I shit myself. I'm shitting, peeing, crying, black eyes, nose, vomit, screaming, 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 bleeding. There is a moment every time all this is happening where there is a voice in my head that's like, it would be cool if I came right now. You know what I'm saying? If I could come in that moment, that's all, to hit for the cycle like that. That's all I need for my EGOT. That's what I'm looking forward to. I work in television. I watch a lot of television. I think I have a pretty refined taste in television, actually. I mostly watch a channel called A&E, which stands for Arts and Entertainment. It's very classy. My favorite show on A&E, maybe my favorite show of all time, is a TV show called Intervention. Okay? If you haven't seen Intervention, how do I describe it? Well, it's basically a prank show. And the way it works is a production company descends on some awful little town, and they are looking for a huge drug addict, right? And they find a drug addict, and they go up to him, and they're like, hey, man, we heard you're pretty good at taking drugs. And he's like, pretty good, I'm the best, I'm incredible, it's all I do. And they're like, awesome, would you ever consider getting high on camera? And he's like, it would be an honor.